Hey, 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 it is Tish from ShiningSelf.com here. And today I just wanted to do a quick check in. I have not been active on social media or I have not sent an email to my community in a couple weeks now. And I just kind of wanted to do a quick update to let you know what's been going on in my world and why I have kind of fallen off the face of the earth. First, before I dive into that, if you are not following me over on Facebook or YouTube, um, be sure that you like and follow so that you can get notifications anytime that I go live. And I also invite you, if you have not connected with me over at shiningself.com, be sure to head on over there and sign up for my mailing list. That is the easiest way that I stay in contact with my community, and I would love to have you join me on there. So the last several weeks, why I have been missing from the online world. A lot has been going on. I started therapy and it's been really emotional and a lot harder than I realized that it was going to be. Um, and like the really interesting thing that happened the first appointment that I had with the therapist was I have struggled with binging and purging on and off my entire life since I was 19. I'm 47 now, so for quite a while. I've always, I've kind of talked about, and actually this is like one of the things that I'm not an open book about compared to everything else that I talk about. This isn't something that I talk a lot about. But anytime that I do talk about it, I've never said I have an eating disorder. I've always said that I struggle with issues with food. I've, mentioned, I'll say, oh, I've struggled with binging and purging, but never have been able to just come out and say I have an eating disorder. So the first session that I had with my therapist, I'm sharing with her that I don't have an eating disorder, but I struggle with blah, 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 and went into telling her about it. And she's like, why do you say that you don't have an eating disorder? And I said, because when I think of somebody that has an eating disorder, and I can't believe this is coming out of my mouth, um, I think that it's somebody that's thin, and I think that it's somebody that struggles with that particular thing, anorexia, bulimia, etc., every single day. And I said, and that has not been my case. I'm obviously not thin, and I don't struggle every single day with the binging and purging. It comes and goes in my life off and on over the years. Um, Back in January, it did get really bad. Like, I've always prided myself. I know that sounds really messed up, but I've always prided myself on the fact that the binging and purging was something that I could control when so many other things in my life or going on around me have felt so out of control. And in January, when the binging and purging started again, for the first time since I started that back when I was 19, it became out of control. Like I couldn't control it. There was times that it was 5 to 7 times a day, and it scared me how out of control it suddenly felt and how I couldn't, like, rein it back in like I had done in the past. Um, so that is something that I had been talking about with my naturopath doctor that I started seeing in January, and, she recommended a therapist that was in the office right there that deals with eating disorders and some other things. So I had been put on a waiting list to work with her. So, anyways, all that has started for last month. That started last month. So I have been just this raw onion that I'm just peeling back more and more layers. and we are now getting into more of like the childhood things that definitely play a part in the eating disorder. So that was a really long way to ramble and say that, as weird as it sounds to say, being able to talk through with the therapist in that first session and to actually be able to say, I have an eating disorder, that was so powerful. And I know that it seems weird to say I have an eating disorder is something powerful, but hear me out and let me try to explain why that was powerful for me. Um, so it almost took me back many, many years ago to when I was my drinking was so out of control, and I was finally able to admit I'm an alcoholic. I can't do this on my own. I need help. And the minute that I was able to admit that I was an alcoholic and I needed help is when I was able to change things and work on getting and staying sober. So that's why admitting that I have an eating disorder was so powerful to me, because it's it was just like that, admitting that I was an alcoholic, and now I knew that I needed help and could work on changing that. So being able to admit that I have an eating disorder, um, has just kind of, I don't flip the switch, I guess, to just letting me move forward and know that I'm ready to face this monster, and knowing that I can't do it on my own, and that's why I have that professional help there. Um, Things are getting a lot harder, I guess, now because, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, we are starting to dive into some of the childhood stuff that definitely plays a part in, why I have the eating disorder. Okay. So now the other thing that's been going on that has just been w- wreaking havoc in my life is, you've probably seen me touching my face. Um on February 20th, my birthday, I broke a tooth, and after years and years and years of not being at the dentist, and how I have not had an issue before now is beyond me, but thank God I haven't, because I have massive dental anxiety. So anyways, I get into the dentist last month, and so on top of that one broken tooth that was causing issues, he found that I had 8 cavities. Um and then there's another tooth that is, broken, that needs to have a cap. So that was causing issues, causing pain. Um, I got signed up for some dental insurance, but we had to wait until April 1st for that dental insurance to kick in before the dentist could actually do any work. So on a Friday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, what a day to go to the dentist. I went in for, the longest appointment for him to prep and do everything he needed to do with that one tooth, um, to put the temporary cap on and get it ready for the permanent cap. Um, and so today is April 6th. So it's been 5 days since I've had that done, and I have just had issues since all that work was done. Um, when your mouth is propped open for an hour and a half, obviously it's going to create some issues with your jaw. So I've just had a lot of pain, um, from that, but it's just, I mean, it's just painful. Like, I can't fully bite down. It feels like there's just this big block of cement there. I'm eating soft foods because I can't chew like hard foods, and I still feel like I'm drooling, which is really weird because obviously my mouth is not still numb. Um, it's just been, the last almost week has been rough with that. So I've just been dealing with that. So, all that to say, that's why I have been, missing and have quote unquote fallen off the face of the virtual world. Just because I've been putting so much focus on my therapy and everything, that I need to process and deal with since starting that. There's been a lot of tears. There has been a lot of aha moments. There's just been a lot. The process has been beautiful so far, and that probably sounds really weird to say, but um, yeah, it's just something that I needed to do. And the reason that I pulled away from like social media and stuff is just because I needed to just focus on me and taking care of me. And that all that to say, like, the title of this video was "You Have Permission." And I just wanna tell you that you have permission to you fill in the blank. So, I always struggle with, consistency on social media is key. So, I always struggle with the experts telling you have to post every single day, and I get it. I understand how important that consistency is in showing up and being there for my community. I so get that. But I also am giving myself permission to take that time away from social media that I needed to take to focus on myself. So, again, you fill in the blank. You have permission, or you should say, I have permission. And then whatever you feel like you're struggling with that you have to do, um, I'm giving you permission to step away from it. If you need to take time away from social media, do it. Um, yeah. So I guess that was just my long-winded way to say you have permission to focus on you and um, take care of you. And well, never mind. I'm not gonna get into that because I'll go down a whole rabbit trail. So, that's what's been up in my neck of the woods. I would love to know what's going on in your life. You can leave me a comment, reach out to me, via email. You'll find me on Instagram, you'll find me on TikTok, and if you would like to join my mailing list, let's see if I can find it. I would love to have you sign up, and you can go to I don't know why I can't find it. Um, well, I was gonna be fancy and put the big banner down there with the link to it, but you can go to shiningself.com/positive, and you will get a free body positive workbook, and that will add you to my mailing list. And again, like I said in the very beginning of this video, that is how I stay in the most contact with my community is through my email list. So I would love to have you over there. And I don't know where that went. So, anyways, have a great day. Bye.